لا هو الأردن. All right. That's my name. Yes. Yes. My name is Dr Hamza. I'm a child neurologist. I did my I did my training in Ohio State University and practiced in America for 2.5 years. And then I moved to Abu Dhabi government. It was wonderful. I loved it. But you know, my personality, I would like to build and be practice the way I want, not the way the system dragged me. So I started working in Dubai. This is my second year, and I think there was wonderful times. This is probably about 5th or 6th, you know, Botox Training Workshop. I always tell them and start by saying, Botox is very safe. Approved 1989, it is very safe. Unless you are injecting in the intracarotid, okay, or intra-arterial, large amount, you are almost always safe. So don't be scared, okay? And this is a video tape, okay? And we will show you the data. Now, I think for the time constraint and the patient situation, probably we're gonna go ahead and inject him, okay? Now, things we'll touch base before we inject him. Very important, you know, before you inject, you need to know why do I need to inject the patient, okay? If there's too many reasons. One, because I want to regain mobility. Second, decrease pain, spasticity, and complication. Third, to hygiene. This is in general, right? If you have a patient who is spastic everywhere and he is in encephalopathic, he's non-interactive, most likely, if you don't have hygiene issue, you don't have to inject it, okay? It's expensive, it does not worth it, you know, it's a waste of your time, his time, and for the family resources. If you have a patient with hemiplegia, right? Okay, and he's doing like this, like the kid I injected yesterday, she's 16 years old, from Croatia. Very, very like handsome girl, and she's walking like this. I injected her 3 months ago, she started walking normal. I told this ma'am, this is amazing. And I did not expect her to get well, and then after that, you know, she did very well. That is a kid that you need to inject. We'll go with your patient.
Okay, my dad has been paralyzed for more than 5 years. 5 years.
Okay, what he has?
He's been paralyzed for 5 years. Now his arm, whenever we do OT, we have it every other day.
Okay.
It gets stiff again. So Dr. Hamza suggested to do the Botox treatment. I just want to know what is the after effects, side effects from the treatment?
Okay. Usually Botox is given minimum every 3 months, in general every 3 to 6 months. The Botox, as we explained to the family, if you have a stamp, you know, this is let's assume this is the normal muscle, and this is the spastic muscle. It's under constant pressure from the brain. What does this lead to? First, spasticity, fibrosis, affect the joint, affect the bone, and it gives pain, and it affects also the patient himself, so psychological. Now, the fact that he has only arm, that's what less than 4 large muscle groups, that's fantastic. Right? This is a perfect situation. Now, the goal for him, you know, after I see him, is basically to inject the muscle that's most problematic. What do you think, Andres? What are the muscles that most What does he do?
It's inflection. It's very hard to extend his fingers. Distal interchangeal joints and cross-interchangeal joints, and feet.
Wrist.
Yes, and wrist adduction. You can check also the biceps for the
in a relation?
It's left.
Yeah, you can meet him. So before she gets, you know, a lot of the time, you know, I know most muscle ignore to be injected with the pronator like this. Have been injected for years, and the pronator is being ignored. You can do that, okay? So that's one. You might inject flexor digitorum profundus and superficialis. This is the muscles. You inject superficialis here, and they will tell you how to do it in adult. Profundus here, right? Okay. Sometimes adductive. Flexor carpi ulnaris, anterior here, flexor carpi radialis, okay? And sometimes the patient is so emancipated, very thin, right? And he has been spastic for years, and we need first to put him in his anatomical position, spread the finger, and good luck sometimes. You don't know which is which. So what I do in these cases, or what my ex-trainer told me, inject, boom, 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 boom. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 15, 15, 15, 10, 10, 10. Then the muscle open. With the exercise, then you can isolate it. So you don't have to isolate exact muscle if it's difficult. Okay? Can you bring him over here, please? Can I ask you a favor? When we evaluate him, just make sure we focus on him. Very good. خلاص. I think now we are good.
keep checking.
Yeah, just keep him on. Okay. In his case, can you bring him over here, please? السلام عليكم. كيف الحال؟ شو الأخبار؟ كويسة؟ الحمد لله. طيب. Now, first thing what you're looking at it. Pronator. So pronator is injected. Pronator, right? Okay. Flexor deltorum superficialis profundius. Okay. Right? And look at the finger is also affected. So when I need, yeah. This one, adductor pollicis. This one, abductor pollicis. Adductor pollicis, abductor pollicis brevis. ABP. Okay, so there's two things. You just need to pay attention to that, right? Now, when I look at him, I need to try to put him in the anatomical position. You see, it's very tough. Okay, so that is need to be injected, right? Yeah, we can inject it here. Yeah, but I think that this will be much help. Now, if you look at the hands, Dr. Deltorum superficialis, and Dr. Deltorum profundus also need to inject it. Here, you can take the abductor pollicis, inject it here, and ABB, and you can open this one. It's not really bad, right? Okay, not really bad. But I think the target, pronator, quadratus, okay, and you know, nice. Wajah. And I don't see any flexion. Usually they would be like this, So flexor carpi ulnaris here, okay? Flexor carpi radialis is going to be here, right? And I will tell you how to where to put for the resources and how to isolate these muscles, okay? Now, in adults, rule of thumb, distal extremity, dilute hard, 4 by 1 handed, Proximal, okay? Severely affected patient, dilute 2. Each one handed with 2 ml. Alright? If you are injecting, for example, near the laryngeal muscle, which I never did and I will never do, okay, you don't dilute 4 by 1. Diffuse, That is very important. So we can start with him. Okay? Now, أنت عارف شو اللي حنعمله؟ اوكي. هذا الدواء هذا شو حنعمل؟ هذا الدواء حنعمل لك نضرب العضلة اللي مسبب لك المشاكل، هاي العضلة حيدخل بالعضلة يرخيها. اوكي؟ في معظم الحلقة بس مش كل الحلقة. فعندك الايدك بدل ما هي عامله كده هترجع ان شاء الله كده، وهي بعد ما تسنده هيك مثنيه هيك ممكن تفتح اكثر او تلاحظ سهوله فيها، اسبوعين ل4 اسابيع يكون التاثير اكثر، يستمر من 3 ل 6 اشهر. زين؟ الان ليش احنا نضربك وبعد 3 6 اشهر يروح مفعول؟ ليش؟ لعده اسباب، واحد يمنع انه يتكون عندك تليف بالعضله. ثانيا يستخدم العضله بشكل احسن. ثالثا يكون العلاج الطبيعي عندك فعال اكثر. رابعا ممكن تصير تستخدم ايدك انت، في بعض الناس they start to work using their hands much better. وخامسا اذا في وجع البوتوكس احيانا يساعد. زين؟ عندك ماشي على اي مميعات انت؟ عندي شو؟ مميعات ماشي على وارفرين، اسبرين؟ ما في. طبعا you have to ask about this all the time. Okay, يعني if it's warfarin. Aspirin, warfarin, يعني aspirin don't do anything about it. Warfarin you need to be careful with large muscle and big doses. Okay? يبقى عندنا خفيفة إن شاء الله. Okay? Can you tell on the left, guys? Sorry. الآن, how do we mix the medication? Do you guys know how to mix the medication? Do you have the Botox?
Yes.
Right. I will give you the doses, the ranges for him. 12.5 to 50. Dr Hamza, 12.5 to 50, okay? He's very stressed. So I will have him hard with a high dose. ليش؟ حتى diffuse, okay? And inshallah he will respond. So I give him how many do you have? See? So what I will do for him, I will hammer him with 25 here, okay? 50 and 50. And profundus, okay? Here usually the dose is like 5 to 10, but we will have to go up to 20. Now, a lot of the times I manage, what I do, I tend to do it in the way so I don't waste Botox. Yeah, I calculate them and it's like 110. I don't have to open it one more. I make it 10, 100, and use it effectively. So what I will do, okay, that's Botox, okay? There is brand made in Dragon Mar. How do I know that she lived in the Dragon Mar? Okay, look. You see what's in the bottom here? That's the white thing. That means, what does this mean? This means it is most likely original, right? Since we trust Lubna, we're not going to say it's not original. I will tell them. Please tell them. Yeah, of course, but they can do all this stuff. Yeah.
This one is more expensive,
right? So what do you do? What's that, Lubna? The allergan one?
Yeah, there is an. If you look at the bottle, it has the name of allergan in a rainbow. Here. Allergan. Can you just bust it?
Yeah, bust it.
Just if you want right here. Allergan.
Bust it. Right.
It's look at it. Entry is the white.
How many have to? So that's very important. And they will tell you when you prepare, we're going to use 4. You have 5 ml. We're going to use 4 ml dilution. Make sure you clean this one. Make sure you clean this one when you do dilution. And I usually, when I dilute 4, I don't put 4, I don't put 4.5, because you will never get everything back.
So how much the concentration of the
100.
100.
It's a start, 100. What's available is 100. So I usually get 4.2, 4.3, and so I give it like, here. And when you do it, make sure you clean it with alcohol, right? And the second thing to tell you that it is original, under negative pressure, right? If it is not under negative pressure, make sure you give them a buzz, right? And I usually, what I do, see, did you hear the air coming out? And then you have to be really gentle, right? Okay? As if you are battling your kid. No. And you do it this way. You don't have to throw it on the wall, okay? Or use it as a sucker ball to mix it, but you can do it like this. And take the one fry, I think you used to open the wall, it's like a Pepsi can. Open it, and you don't use the one until but if you drop it, it's, I think will be very expensive. You put it over. You see the things here. Since I took the negative pressure, it's really easy to pull everything out. How much did we put? Almost 4 and we barely get 4 now. What I usually do, you have a piece of paper. So this is, that's fine. We have, I will show you what you need to do. This is, a needle is okay. What I usually do also, I make a piece of paper and I draw where to inject. Especially in kids, very important. What I write it down and then I take it and put it in the wall. And for example, for him, his left arm, flexor digitorum profundus, flexor digitorum profundus, we're going to give 50, right? Flexor digitorum superficialis, we give 50. When we inject, you have to put in the anatomical position, okay? We said we'll give pronator to release, we're going to give 25, and hopefully it's going to work with high dilution. And we'll quadratus, we'll give him 25, okay? And I don't think we will need the radius. He's not flexed. I'm not sure he's flexed. And also, since we have 50 more, we need to get the adductor pollicis, and abductor pollicis previous, APP. We'll give them typically 10 in kids, but we'll give them 25. So by this thing, we already use 200 units. It's just like, it's more expensive than gold, okay? This is, there is another one. A lot of the time in kids, I give them dornichium. Okay. So So we talked about the white, we talked about the rainbow, you hold this one, and make sure again clean this one, make it aseptic, all right? Especially initially, and now it looks to me and it's like really easy, but when you do it, if you don't practice the same thing again and again, sometimes it will be difficult for you. See, we're giving a little bit more than 4. Huh? And I usually always, as a tactic for you guys, especially in kids, try not to let the patient see it, okay? Don't put the patient here and start, pulling out, doing like this. Wallahi, they freak out. Believe me, and the family freak out. I always tell them, take the patient in the other room, and I do it, and then I will put them down, after I inject you now, and then I inject you. And they give them Dormicum with that. But I have seen it, when they do, they put, don't know it's too bigger, and the patient, negative pressure, right? Okay. So thank you, Dr. It was not a
No, thank you.
We have been around the block, so we need to make sure it's original. See this one, always the bust. Be gentle, okay? Remember always this. You always do it like this, huh? Okay, you don't have to spend half an hour doing that. Because the moment you hit that, it will dissolve. And a lot of the time they told you hit the corner here, huh? Okay. They told you. I don't do that. And down the road, you train your nurse too, huh? I think I don't train I don't train my nurses because I think my nurses have a big time ADD. So I told you, no, don't do it, I'll do it myself.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please do.
How many patients have you done this to? That
This
are
one?
above 60. Above 60.
I think we inject above 60, I inject probably 4 or 5 people.
So how many? So what are the after effects of?
It's just like regular. It is regular, exactly like the vaccination.
Do they remember the movement of their hand? I mean, sometimes they forget, right?
His hand, it might move. Remember, it might move and it might not move. Okay.
So would you need intensive OT?
Yeah, usually in 2 to 4 weeks after we inject them. This is where the maximum effect of the Botox. We tell them please, and intensify the physical therapy. But physical therapy in general, whether you take Botox or not, it has to be there always. Okay, but 2 to 4 weeks, if you can intensify, that would be very helpful. Okay. All right. Can we bring the patient now? All right, and we will now make sure, guys. Remember, put everything tidy. Now we have too many here. Get everything tidy. This is what they way do it. I put my paper next to me. Where's my paper? One time, we put the kid down and he freaked out. They don't want to give him, and he was playing, and we were holding the wrong leg, and we almost injected him in the wrong leg. Right? Because it's, the family freaking out, everybody freaking out. Okay? We have a lot. So make sure to look at doing a paper. I'm just giving you more alcohol swabs. You don't try. No? Yeah, and keep on.
And 1 inch is fine.
One and a half inch.
But you should
Now we'll use this one. Do it.
2 inches.
So, you're bringing. So how do okay, I need somewhere to put this one. Okay, remember always anatomical position. Alright? Because this is the resources I told you. Hold it for me, please. Make sure you make septic. Okay. How do I do pronator 3s? Pronator 3s, I do biceps, medial epicondyle, biceps here, alright, here. Then 2 finger grids distal. You put your finger. You have the advantage, back and forth. So this is the bicep finger, here, medial epicondyle. Here, 2 finger away from the middle here, okay? He's a little bit on the heavy side, but I can feel it under my finger. You can feel it move. And all of the time, activate. Activate, you can feel it under your finger. So hold it for me. Initially, when I start injecting, I use a marker, eraser marker. I put a note there and I inject over there. Okay. Now remember, how much we're gonna inject in the pronator trees?
25.
25. How much is 25.5? How much is 25 here? 1 ml. Okay. So you get orange. Okay. So we'll do this one again. A line dissecting in the middle here, 2 finger widths distant here. You should have again. Back and forth, and it not hurt always to do it, hold it in the anatomical position. My finger here. Are you ready? Huh? Ready? Okay, work. Move. Think you are in. So you just pull.
25.
25, right? Alright, done.
You need to do.
Pull out and خلاص. Do it quickly, okay? Alamata, did you feel pain? Now, what are we going to inject next?
Next
Flexible dorsal. How do I do it? I put my ulnar here, right? And I do this. This should be the flexible floor. My ulnar part, and his ulnar part, and I point should be here. Flexible dorsal superficialis. How do I do it? Pull his fingers out. Extend his finger. Okay. Put your finger here to transition. Where I put here. Okay. Extend the fingers. Can you feel it move underneath you? You feel it? Okay. So how, in general, do you like this? And put it here. Again, in the anatomical position, guys, please. Then when you inject, okay, you can feel it here, right? On his hand. Same way. How much we're going to inject? We say 50. How much 50? 2 ml. Okay. Extend and flex. Extend and flex. Right. Extend and flex. You can feel it here, anatomical position. Now, we have a crystal ball that I'm sure in there, not always, but diffuse, especially with high dilution. It will diffuse, okay? This is superficialis, okay? How do I do profundus? Profundus, anatomical position. Okay? And hold this hand like this. This is the way I do it. Medial eye, right? 4 finger widths here. 4 finger widths here. Lateral to the medial. Now extend and flex the index finger. Extend and flex. So medial to the conduct. Okay. So what I do? I put them in anatomical position. Flex it back here. Okay. 4 finger widths medial. This medial condyle. 4 finger widths here. Should be, okay? Put your finger here. Put your finger here. You feel it? You feel it moving? Up here. Finger here. You feel it? Right? Yeah. And this, I will tell you where to find that, which box you use for that. So put your finger. How much we gonna inject? 15? Right. So extend and flex again. Give it to me. Extend and flex. So 52 ml now. Oh, right here. Which one do you need to inject? Now, related carburetors is usually going to be 25 ml. It's usually here. Huh? It's a very superficial muscle and it is very in between and it's very thick. Okay? So what you need to do, we're going to give it how much? 25, right? Okay. Go here. Now this is very superficial muscle. So you have to take much. And sometimes you can feel it's very tight. That's inshallah will help him improve. Now with him, in kids it's easier to isolate. Now, advice, leave the hard muscle to the end. This muscle and this muscle are not a weak muscle. Okay, so leave it to the end. In his case, I think the more thing, the main thing, we can inject the adductor process here. اوكي؟ هاي معلش هتوجه شويه، هتتحمل يعني شويه، هاي عضلات الايد عاده توجه شويه، اوكي؟ طبعا did you build the EMG?
Yes.
Okay, we can use this EMG machine. So what you need to do, on this muscle you don't have to you get lactose. So we use the 200, okay? Okay? So as simple as that. Now with time, you know, you're gonna get obsessed, you're gonna get more and more used to it, and you get more, yeah, just like you're driving a car. The more you do it, the more you get confident. You come to that. معلش تحملنا احنا وجهنا معلش. اسفين جدا. understand? Huh? Yeah, apply the spray and خلاص, you can go, okay?
So how do you have this plan?
So, as long as he needs. These usually they need a long time. Can you show me the okay. Huh? Yeah, no, you can continue physical therapy as second day. A lot of the time they ask me, doctor, can I do physical therapy tomorrow? I tell them, yeah, you can start even yesterday. Right. This is usually because we need to inject him. That's why we started. Okay. What does that mean?
To know the anatomical position and the muscles.
I forget. It does not. I will give you the resources for that. Okay. And I will tell you where to use it. Huh? Yeah. These things will practice. And I mainly inject kids, so kids will not inject as specific as these muscles. But I will tell you where to get everything. You just open it before you get the patient. Start always with one patient, then add more and more. Then it will become just like giving them.
Is it allowed for us to do it as a practice, or you have to be certified?
Yeah, it's okay. You don't have to be certified. Well, if you know how to do it,
and they have regulations and these things.
You don't have to. And I never had training for that. Okay, but they have too many sessions and too many training sessions until I got so comfy. So if they ask me, I will give them the certificate. Like this is, I did this. But honestly, guys, it will take you a while before you get used to it. And don't panic. You will get there, but you will need more practice. Okay. All right. Now, all what I'm gonna do quickly. I'm not gonna waste too much time on that. Do you have more patients?
Still, so far I didn't see.
Perfect, that's okay. We can talk and chit chat. We have done, practice session is fantastic. Huh?
It's harder than the morning.
Right. So we'll talk about what is spasticity. Spasticity basically can be defined as increased tightness in the affected muscle, stiff muscles. Okay, secondary to loss of the central nervous system. Okay. What is the problem with spasticity? As you saw with this guy, he was pronated, his leg was this, and he was also stiff in his finger, so that with time to become a fibrotic and will become a problem for him. And he cannot move at all, right? He's hemiplegic, you know, on the left side. So that spasticity by itself can be a problem. I'm not going to go in detail over that. We'll finish most of what we do as discussion and case-based cases. Now, upper extremity spasticity. As you saw, guys, but remember, internal rotated, it's almost always going to be there, and this are patients like this. So, what do you have here? Bicep, right? Put it back here. Pronator trees, quadriceps. I mean, inject the pronator trees, right? Okay? And flex the wrist, flex the cardi and maris radialis, okay? We'll talk about the anatomy. And adductor pollicis. This one finger in the palm is abductor pollicis brevis. This is, we always leave them to the last because they are painful, really painful. Okay. Now, clenched fist, we talked about that. Flexed limb, we talked about that. Stump in a palm, we talked about that. The pronator for and very important, most ignored muscle, and also the transmitter of matter. Patient like this, okay. Have never seen patient injected in transmitter or mine. Almost always they forget to do that, okay? And you just go in the midline and inject them here, okay? So that is, that's always helpful. Lower extremity, equinovarus, all right? The patient is walking, look, a bit toe walking. See what I'm doing? Equinovarus, tibialis posterior. You need to put him back. And gastrocnemius, okay? On this one, a lot of the time they have a touch of crouching hamstrings. You need to hit the hamstrings. Huh? So that's very important to remember. As a rule of thumb, hemiplegia, if your patient comes with you hemiplegia, always think about the gastrocnemius as a primary mistake. Patient with diplegia, look, like this, diplegia, think about the hamstring as a primary, then the gastrocnemius. And if the patient is quadriplegic, adductor, you think about the rest, okay? Just, this is always guidelines to help you where to move. Spasticity complication, positioning, mobility, hygiene, have kids adductors, two parents are pulling the legs apart to change the diaper. Fungal infection, ulcers, a lot of things, so this one you have to do for hygiene, right? Contractors, if you leave them alone. I was surprised, this girl in her 17 years old, she was walking like this, and I thought, your chance of being, to respond, it would be really low, but the good thing about you, you have a dynamic movement still. And we injected her, I promise you, if you see her walking, she would not know that she had this issue at all. And the mom, she was so happy. She was from Croatia here, really important for the girls to look like handsome and they look like, Miss America. So the mom was so happy. And she got me a Tom Ford column. Okay. Now, spasticity management steps. Okay, rule of thumbs. I learned when you always have rules, always help you. More than 4 large muscles, okay? 2 gastrocnemius, 2 hamstrings, okay? And then they have, have the 2 adductors and 1 leg, hand. Start about general systemic medication, right? If you have less than 4 large muscles, think which called focal spasticity. Think about Botox, okay? If they could, I have seen people inject everywhere, like this, and they injected everywhere. 20, 30 injection, and he's moving, crying. This is, the side effect will be higher, the cost is much higher, and the systemic medication will be much more fruitful, right? Because you don't want to torture the patient. But if it does not work, you can put them in a systemic medication, then you target the most tight muscle. Okay? You can combine and target the most tight muscle, or the tightest muscle. Now, intrathecal, I don't know if anybody does it. Here in the Emirates, and I would never do it. And because you need to have to a trained team, because withdrawal from backlifting is a problem, and all people know that. Prior to intervention, guys, specify the goal. Explain to the family what to do, what's the expectations, what are the side effects, okay? What are the costs, and how often do we need to inject it? And please videotape the kid. 1 kid we injected with our doctor. Okay, then she started moving. The dad came 3 months. I don't think she improved. This was in Columbus. I said, excuse me, don't think she improved? And that's when we learned, we might attend thought, we videotape them before we inject them. Almost always the family forget how was their kid. And it is amazing how quickly they forget. Okay? And they said, no, I don't think he's improving, doctor. And it's so suffering. And you guys have faced us all the time. Tell them, sorry ma'am, open the video, look at the video, okay? Do you think this is good? Oh, well, I forgot how he was. Well, good luck. Next time, this is for you to videotape them and to tell them. And I still remember that this kid, good improvement. And she knew, and he was crying, and he was a big drama, okay? Third, exercise, please do exercise always. Exercise before, after, and during, and for the rest of your life. Please, you need to do that, okay? Now, botulinum toxin. This is botulinum toxin for the treatment of spasticity and evidence-based review from American Academy of Neurology. Look here. If you have a greedy patient, what tell you here, it should be, right?
The doses I can give, not the amount, means the size in the same session. So you can inject upper and lower and this.
Lower, everything. You can give 40 to 80, right? Usually, but remember, more than 4 big muscles, it will be better for us to move for system. You can give the system. Can I combine it with the Botox? Of course. If he's tight everywhere, I give him systemic and he's fine, but he's still tight, then I hit him with that. So I use both, right? Now, dose range. This is, let's go back slowly. Okay, the updated European consensus 2009 on the use of botulinum injection for children with cerebral palsy. In adults, it's not an issue. Okay? Inject in kids. Right? We took the initial one, more than 15 per kilo. This I would stick for the first injection. Now, what they say, the dosage range. Of course, this is the big. If anyone interested, I can email you with the article I put yesterday. You can take up to 25 per kilo. So kid with 30, you can hit him with how much? 30 by 25. You are talking about more than 600, right? They said stick with 600, but not more than 600 in one session. Always the first session, don't do that. First session always underdose, okay? Now, and they'll give you the range maximum dose side up to 50. This is the 50. So you can give 10, 5, whatever, but up to 50, then you stop. Okay, now dose modifier. How do I decide? This is depends mainly on your experience and which muscle you are comfortable to inject. But again, if you are very close, small kid, very severely affected, don't overdo it. 2 ml, 1 ml. Okay? If you are distant, like 17 years old, and large muscles, and you are injecting 1 or 2 muscles, go for higher reduction. Right? Very important. And when you inject, pull, then inject. Theoretically, if I inject them like 10 minutes in the butt, nothing's going to happen. But always pull and inject. And I'll tell you also how to document. So that is the update. Now, safety of high dose botulinum toxin type A therapy for the treatment of pediatric spasticity. This is one of the articles used to bring up the consensus. So what they used here. Okay, so let's talk about the conclusion. No serious adverse events were noted in children weighing less than 45 kilograms who received type A doses up to 22 per kilo of their body weight, or if they are more than 45, who receive total dose of 100 to 1200 international units in a single injection. The attending I worked in Columbus, Ohio, he told me the highest dose he used in adult, 1100. 1100. That's what his experience. He said, 1100, and I was a little bit anxious, but fine. But now, if you are talking almost an adult, you can go up to 800 to 1200. But remember, the consensus, you need to be on the safe side. Don't use more than 600, right? And down the road, you can go up. But in general kids, in small kids, you need more than 600, believe me, okay? So that's to tell you how safe is this medication. And I reviewed all the articles yesterday that with high doses, no single case of this. What happens? Systemic severe drooling, sometimes they get infection and they consider this in the lung. Very serious side effect. Bring him back, we'll admit him and treat him, right? And this patient, always depend. Every patient is different. Always compare with what did he do before. He responded like over responded to 50 units. This next time I'm going to 25 units. Okay, I'm not going to have him with 50, right? And this is with time, basically.
It will have convulsions.
Huh?
Convulsions.
Absolutely.
No problem.
Absolutely.
ممكن تصاري كده بيحصل convulsions?
Absolutely. Unless they are super duper anxious. If the family anxious, yeah, for this girl, Croatia, I injected her, she stood up. The mom went in the room, and the mom started getting dizzy, and the kids started getting paralyzed. That's what happened. And the nurse panicked. Sit down, ma'am. She's a physician. He's out. I don't see it. All of a sudden, the kid woke up and stopped walking. I told her what happened. She said, "Mom is supposed to be out." If you see the mom is on the panic trajectory, be on the alert. Other things, when you inject them while they are lying down, and if you think the mom, tell them out. If you don't pray, it will go on. Now, for kids, my lovely advice: if you get my book, my bags, always my bag. What they have midazolam, dormicum. I gave him 0.3 milligram per kilogram. They start laughing, and I inject him, and the family is so happy. Allah, one of the patients I injected him, and I told him, listen, your kid muscle is like rock. I can't get it beyond 90 dorsiflexion. I don't think he's going to score, but we'll try it with serial casting. I got from Dormicchio, hefty dose, they were lying down like this, and they don't sleep. They just start laughing, just like the drunk. Huh? The people in the city, they ask me, can I have some, doctor? Of course you can. Okay? You inject them, they don't have to say, doctor, I'm really happy because, every time we inject this kid with so and so, it's panic. We have to tie him down, 200 kilogram nurses holding him down, and they're twisting his arms, and the mom is crying. You can't do that. Give him midazolam. It's really safe, especially when you are here. In the Saudi General Hospital, I have a clinic here twice. I give him it, say, wait outside. I see other patients, I already got them, and inject, wait 5 minutes outside, go home. As simple as that. It's not really dangerous. If I give them buccal midazolam, when they are in the middle of the desert to abort seizure, right? Is it safer than just giving them, midazolam in the hospital next to me? It is not. But I'm giving them buccal midazolam to take it in the middle of the desert. Why can't I give them midazolam next to me? So I always give it to them because it makes the life really, really easy for kids. And you can isolate the muscle. Now, a lot of the time, the muscle I sometimes get the problem with, honestly, is the hamstrings, right? Because when you put them down like this, they lose the tone, it is not as tight. So what I do, I put the leg like this and extend them, and then the tightness will bulge, then I inject. And then we see. So that's very helpful. Okay? Now, books I told you about. That is the book I lost. Okay? And Elergan will get me one. Or we're going to go to the court. No other way around. Because this is lovely. It's awesome. Buy it. Wallahi, it worth every single page. This book I have. It's okay. I don't think it's as fancy as the other book. Or by no means. Okay? It is, they talk a lot, but they don't, we need the meat. I am not a medical student. Sit down, read everything about Botox and how it works and what receptors. I want to go for the money. I'm busy practice. I want to know how to isolate the muscle and inject the muscle next patient. Okay? So I need the money. So that is where the money is. This one, what is the good thing? How to isolate the muscle. Like flexor cardia or not. They will tell you do this one or that. That's also helpful. But if you have this one, you don't need this one. Or you don't need this one. Okay? So that is really very important. That is my experience. Okay? That is the slideshow is done. Now, how do I decide where to inject and what to inject depending on the patient? We use this one, guys. You take a photocopy, flexor cardiac analysis on the right, give one, teres meter, give something like this, and you calculate. Always when you calculate, what I do, you know the bill sheet, the cover, I take it, I write on it, 50, 50, right, and you put the needle in front of me, because believe me, once you are doing it and the mom start panicking, you push, you lose all the thing. And I have done it. I injected the whole, like 50 units in one place instead of 25, 25. So you always, initially I would recommend you do it like, 25, in one syringe, 25, 50, 50. So even if you overdo it, you are not using Botox. Now, with practice, you can put everything in one needle and you can 25, 25, 25, 25, 25. But initially, put every muscle dose in a needle. Okay? Make sure you put them in a nice way. You have your sheet ready next to you. Okay? Wallahi very important. Isolate hemiplegia. Make sure. Because where is my right? Here, right? Where is my right? Allah presents it. And they have seen you inject this. So always tell them which muscle we need to inject. Hold it down. This one, I always put the mark on. Because one time we called the kid, the mom used to give him injection, and he was tired, and they always injected the wrong muscle. Because she didn't want to give him. And he was jumping, crying. This was on the seat. But after that, I really, which one we need to inject? This one. Then I inject it. I put, X on it and inject it. Okay? Clear? Question, comment, comments. Yes, tell me.
Question. I had a lot of patients in Russian hospital who already well developed spastic contractions. So it's not just pure spasticity,
Right.
it's spastic contractions. The question is, can Botox is there any protocol or guidelines or research paper to say that if we start the Botox early on time, we can prevent contractions together with other measures, renting, exercising, and other things?
Right.
Can we prevent development of contractions in patients with the upper motor neuron lesion?
Absolutely, and this is the whole goal of Botox. It's to prevent contraction, to sustain joint movement, and to sustain, patient movement, and to gain functionality. That's the whole goal of
So
Botox.
how long and how frequent we need
As
to
long as
inject?
you want it. You can inject
So
for
means
years.
I can go for years, every 3 months,
Absolutely.
every 3-4 months?
Minimum every 3 months,
Whether
generally every
effective-
6 months.
Okay, whether effect is decreased by the time on Botox?
Theoretically might, but I see it on the other, when you inject and you do physical therapy, the physical therapy is more helpful, more fruitful, and when you put the splints, it's more fruitful. So instead of injecting every 3 months, you will see that you inject every 6 months, every 9 months, every 10 months, every 1 year. I have seen this. What you said is theoretically, but I never saw it. Honestly. I don't know, I might be lucky, but I never saw some kid, they either respond or don't respond.
When do you suggest to, excuse me,
Yes.
when do you suggest to start with Botox? Modified Ashworth 1
Excellent.
or 2 or 2.5, or I mean, when
Age-
is the
age-wise?
right time to start with the Botox?
Yes. This one, I'm going to give you this one, okay? I'm not going to give you this one, this is mine. I have read this article so many times. I would not, wallahi, if you wait with gold, wallahi it worth it. This article, as a start, it gives you every single thing you need to know. Okay, summary of the treatment recommendation. Lower limbs, upper limbs, right? How much to inject, where to inject, when to start injecting, and how often to inject. You see here? Phenomenal. Every single thing. You see the lower upper, for example, to answer your question, for lower extremity, early treatment is preferable to give maximum response, 1 to 5 years of age. I injected kid the other day, 7 months, 8 months. She has a hyperechidexia. She is in 0.8 milligram twice a day of Rivotril, and she's stiff like this, her kids. I injected her, they open, adapted. Okay? So every case is different, but this is the manual. The other things, they said that the upper extremity more than 4 years of age. But if you think the patient is getting stiff and he's not using it, this is time to inject. Okay?
So when you observe the stiffness is developing, it's starting to develop, it's time to inject. That's what I want to convince my colleague. Tomorrow there is in Rashid Hospital there is a one-day conference on stroke, and I have a lecture about spastic contractions. So my point was, since the admin knows about it, we discussed many times, that we don't use the Botox enough. We are starting very late, many times when it cannot work efficiently. I mean, the patients already developed the contractures, modified. And now what's happening, we have a lot of patients. They are coming to the hospital, they are leaving the hospital with mild spasticity, like 1 or 2 Ashworth, modified Ashworth. And nobody is thinking about the Botox. They are neglecting the patients, unless they have developed severe spasticity. And that's what's happening. So I try to convince them to all approach and policy has to be changed. To start the Botox more frequently and on time. Then I believe we can do much more to prevent the contractions.
And I think the key point for that, because we don't have enough people trained to do Botox. Okay. We don't have.
We had it already. For me, it's I think 3rd or 4th training, and I was infected already.
But you are talking about an institution for how long it has been working?
Where?
The Russian hospital.
Who?
50 years, Russian?
So
Established.
many years, more than
So we don't have. That's what the whole goal of the training. And we always tell the people who are trained, it will take time. Okay? It will take, a little extra effort from you. We are giving you everything on a golden plate. Articles, books, life training, tips we developed from injections, okay, right? And if you need help, always give us a buzz. If you need to inject, for example, you need to inject 5-10 patients, and you still are really not, I'm really not, comfy injecting. Put them together, and instead of doing like a training, we can just talk to the Botox people. They will arrange live injection training. You get everything for them ready. I come and we inject together. And every time I do training, well, I learn from the training myself because I review the literature and I talk to the people, and you know, when the audience asks me, they always, you know, bring my attention to things, you know, he did not hit you before. By the end of the day, this is a very easy thing to do. It's a very simple thing to do. It just needs to practice. If you are driving a manual car, stick car, right? If you are thinking you have to push the gas, and then you have to take off right from the clutch, you're never going to drive. Once it's become a reflex, right? Then you are a good driver. That's exactly the same thing. It took me 2 years. I was on a training program where there's only one attending injury. The physical medical rehab, they would never ever train a child nurse. True. We tell them, how do I want to get to train? No, don't. They, you know, politics. So I used to come 2 years with her to get injured. Then I did 5, 6, 7 training. Then I got, you know, used to it, right? Okay, I don't have too many patients to inject, but I inject any steady, right? You know, every month 3, 4 patients, 3, 4 patients, 3, 4 patients. Because you know it's a little bit expensive. People still don't know that we can inject and where to come when they need to inject. Okay? And we want people to inject. Now to our hospital, after you know, they start doing that. They start injecting, right? We did 1 or 2 training, and they start injecting. And they found it's easy. You see, it's just like a needle. Boop, boop, halas. It's done, right? Now, I think also, Lina, did you hear what they said?
No, I did not.
They still, a lot of physicians who does not inject on the right time, on the right person. So, on Botox, Allergan, believe me, wallahi, they used to send me to other cities to get trained. They are very devoted because they know the more they train, the more they do business, the more, you know, the word spread. And it is something we really need, okay? And it's really very helpful, okay? So she needs to arrange for more training sessions.
Yeah,
and we'll do one a night. But guys, collect patients. Bring patients, yeah. Bring Botox, okay? And bring 5, 10 patients. We'll do 1 full day. We'll do it. Yeah, I know. In Abu Dhabi, they have a huge inpatient, and Dr. Shakil is a fantastic physician. He's my friend. I don't know. He doesn't know how to inject. So please train him. Train them 1 time. But yeah, 1 time is not enough. You know, just break the eyes. You need more. Okay, but he's so busy. That's the problem with the government. The people get so busy, get so that, you know, divert to other things, they tend to forget. Okay. What else do you need to do? Do you have more patients?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I think one of the obstacles, honestly, is the price of Botox.
How much is it?
Well, it's 1,000. What I would tell
1,000 is 100 units.
Right.
But patients, for example, adults, talking about 600, 700, 800. Insurance is
It's not covered by insurance.
No, for me, no, it's covered. For my kids, absolutely. Into the car. Every single patient is
So you
covered.
buy the aircraft to Thailand or Korea.
Because there is no, they don't trust the people here. And there's only one, probably other child nurse I know who know how to inject, was 1 or 2. Not many people inject Botox. And remember, when you inject, if you don't sedate them, and if you don't do it regularly, it's labor intensive. Okay? So that will the place where you are, it would be the perfect place to start injecting Botox. Really. And you will see a big difference, inshallah, once we start injecting that. And Lina is going to be on the other to arrange for Abu Dhabi. Do you have patients yet? Yeah, check. Do you guys have any questions for me? Dr. Abi? Hello? Hi, Dr. Abi. You're never going to inject me. She wants me to be
She's searching for animation by any means. She's searching for patients. We can arrange in private.
Huh?
Private?
Doctora, arrange in private?
Huh?
Of course you can. All what I did is in private. All it is recommended. It should be offered for focused plasticity. If you come see Dr. Habib, and my hand is like this, and they see 3 years later, and my not move, and I said, no, Dr. Habib, they do never offer me. I'm going to sue him. Or I'm going to just, be greedy with him. I'm going to make her life hell. They can do that. So guys, please, it should be here, should be offered as treatment. If you don't do it, send it to somebody who can do it, right? Document, we offer the patient to have Botox. We don't have the facility to do it here, but we offer before. But here it's clear said, and this was which year? Sorry guys, 2000 what? 18, 6 years ago. Alright? Now, let's talk about another practice parameter for focalized, segmental, localized spasticity. Botulinum toxin A, which is Botox, the original one, that has white stuff, and negative and rainbow, should be offered as an effective and generally safe treatment, level A. Okay? Should be offered. Okay, so you need, if you are not offering your patient, or if you're not telling him about it, you are not doing the proper management. And honestly for me, I mean, if you are physically medical rehab, or if you are dealing with a lot of patient who needs, you know, an injection and you don't inject, or you don't offer them, that's the big time problem. Okay, so what we are doing extra than the physical therapy, right? Okay, so really, really good, you need to get trained in that. And now, of course, there's a lot more indication coming out with the Botox. Now, doctor, I'm really scared. You know, my left part of the body here, just above the spleen, is, you know, is wiggly, is, you know, racing because it's not safe. When was FDA approved? 89, right? How many years? Almost like 26 years?
26 years.
I mean, if you need more than 26 years to convince you that need to be done, you know, and this is probably, you might be convinced after you are done with your career path, right? When you're 70, okay, you might think about it. Dr. Ali, tell me.
FDA didn't approve for the kids below 12 years.
It's not?
Not approved by FDA for the children below 12 years. Put in the black box.
No.
Spreading.
No. Fine, I will tell you the practice parameter now from a European council. It's not, if I as a child neurologist work on only FDA approved medication, I will bankrupt. I will be a truck driver. Almost many of my medication
is
are not FDA
FDA, but approved to the
but practice, common practice, what we call it common practice. Kebra, triliptan, more than 2-3 years. I use it at 22 months. The Lamictal, Togomax, neonate, we use it, right? All the time. It's a common practice, we call it.
2 years.
So we don't depend on FDA approval, but we depend on the American Academy of Neurology, expert opinion, European census, and they will tell you how much and how high do they go on this medication. So if you, and they will tell you that, if you are, or what is the difference between child neurology and adult neurology? And child neurology is an adult neurology, I did 1 year training and 2 year MPDI, who has more experience in kids, much more experience, so who is more brave to use medication in kids, okay? Because when I talk to my adult neurology patient friends, talk about, do you use triliptan below 4 years old? I told them, sorry, I thought you were talking about below 4 months old. Of course I do it. Why? Because I have done it hundreds of times so far, right? So everything is explorated from the adult and we put it in kids. And of course, you know, going through residency, you see what they are doing and you do the same thing, right? Perfect. Now, second, Botox, botulinum toxin, a focal therapeutic modality. Inject directly into overactive muscle. We have the EMG. I don't use EMG because mainly I inject large muscle, okay? I think it is really more helpful for small muscles, difficult muscles, or really patient you want to isolate the muscle. But I don't use it. Because when you use it, the needle of the EMG, especially if you are a starter, it bends, okay? So if you have a tight muscle, you are just walking everywhere, alright? And you're not sure even you are in the muscle, if the patient is not cooperative, because you have to activate and deactivate. So it does not add to me as much advantage as for the small muscle. It reduces contracture, relax muscle, allow more normal growth of muscle. That is what I told the mom, the girl, why I want to inject it. That is why Botox is helpful, right? And they always have, you know the stamp? When you push in, it goes down, go up. Until here, our muscle is like stamp. His muscle is halfway stamp pushing. Constant pressure. So when we do the Botox in the muscle, it relaxes. Okay? So it will allow more growth, more normal use, less pain. It does not develop fibrosis, and the joint will be more anatomical. I have seen a lot of kids with their joint messed up completely. You have to do surgery for it. Right. Mechanism of action. This is for the exams, I'm not going to talk about it. Okay. Injection up to 4 ml. Don't inject, don't dilute with half liter water, please. Because this is too much. 4 ml, in adult, large muscle group. In kids, I mainly use 2 ml. My attendant used to use 1 ml, and if she wanted to know more improvement with 2 ml, if you are injecting here, okay, don't dilute 4 ml, okay? Spread everywhere, okay? Try to use 2 ml in adults. In distal muscles, go for it, 4 ml. Okay, because it will give you more, theoretically, more spread in the muscles, okay? Especially the large muscles. Especially if you are injecting 1 injection in a muscle, mainly in all muscles. Now, this is, I will give you, if you inject kids, I will give you an article. I think that article worth its weight gold. But that article summarizes everything for you. All right? So take a photocopy of that up. Right. Here they will tell you, adult, biceps brachii, 100 to 200. Flexor carpi from 12.5 to 50. Ulnaris, the same thing. Flexor digitorum profundus, guys, median, 4 fingerprints activate, right? And you will see flexor digitorum superficialis 30 to 50. Okay? So that's adult, it's standard. For kids, I will tell you, I will give you the article, I'm not going to confuse you. Okay? For kids, lower extremity 3 to 6 per kilo, right? Above the elbow, 1.5 to 3 per kilo. From here, 0.75 to 1.5 per kilo. Small is 1/10. I will give you the article for that. I made it simple for you like this, okay? Now, no more than 50, this is key point. If you are going to do a mistake, don't do mistakes with main things, okay? No more than 50 units per side should be generally administered. Guidelines, right, Lubna? Yes. No more, okay? Second, nerve conduction EMG, it might be helpful, and it will be helpful. If you don't have it, it's okay. Second, don't inject more than every 12 weeks. Never ever. No visa keep up. Never. Why? Because theoretically, this is the guideline. Standard sensitization. If you inject them like 2.5 months against the federal law, no, it's a disaster. Of course not. But if he has a problem, and they call me the FDA, the DHA, as they tell Dr. Hamza, can you make this case? What? It's clear. So this given thing, 50 unit, more every 3 months, stick with it. I never go beyond this. Right. This is the adult from Allergan. You can get it from their, leaflet. And this is a dosing for lower extremity spasticity.
Go back for the
sure. I will send you the presentation itself, if you want. But take a photo. Ready? Next. Here, come on, take a photo. All right. Side effect: hematoma, bruising, local weakness, distant brain, and generalized weakness is a possibility. And they will tell you with high doses. Yesterday I was going through the literature. Extremely high doses. No problem. If you are really anxious, really inject them to the hospital. Zero more from that. They'll ship them until you get more calmly, then you can send them. Okay? And I inject them, they're come out of the room and tell them, a la casa ahora, go home in Spanish. And they want to see you back again, right? Now, muscle identification. This is one, okay. I will give you some of the books. EMG guidance. There was a great book. I passed it to one of our friends. That book is phenomenal. I love it from the bottom of my spleen, not my heart. It's even deep, right? Why? Because it gives you the adult dose, gives you the pediatric dose, it gives you how to isolate the muscle in different ways, okay, and how to dilute and what to use for Botox and for other brands, okay? And it's phenomenal. When I passed it to Ahmad, I told him, because I'm going to make a copy and pass it for the physician. He never did it, and he lost my book. Then, when I left it online, I bought it for $70 in America. It is $900. It's almost missing. I told him, listen, you're going to get it, or you're going to be in trouble. But I will give you the name anyway if you want to get it. I have a CD of it. We can probably, send it in video. Now, this is the AMG, right? General rule, never inject more than every 3 months, ever. Never inject more than 50 units in one spot. dilute them out to 4 ml. Lidocaine can be used if the patient is suffering from pain for 2-3 days. He's so much pain, put lidocaine.
So you mean lidocaine local or just
لا
injection?
instead of the water.
Instead.
Normal saline, you can put the lidocaine. If they inject him until 3-4 days, it was not even moving, so painful, put lidocaine next time. Okay? Replace the normal saline with lidocaine. To be safe in kids, don't use more than 15 units per kilogram on first session. This is to be challenged, and they will tell you. Okay, now the recommendation up to 25 units per session. Now, always first session underdose. If you think this kid needs 50, give him 25. Because you never know how he's going to respond. We have kids, we inject them, they are tight like hell, you inject them, and all of a sudden they become so loose. So you can't tell. Always under inject. Underdose. Now, an updated, yes.
So, what if I